Right. Hello, everybody. One of the discussion questions was uploaded a little late, so I didn't get the chance to answer it in the Q&A, so I will answer it here. So, Pereboom argues that, quote, our sense that we are valuable and that our lives are worth living is to a significant extent due to factors that are not produced by our volitions at all, let alone by free will, and that in reality we are quite unbothered about the voluntary or involuntary nature of these factors. He gives the example of moral character, which can be largely attributed to our upbringing rather than our own actions' volitions. Yet, quote, we tend not at all to be dispirited upon coming to understand that our moral character is not our own doing. Rather, we feel fortunate and thankful for the upbringing we have enjoyed, and not that something significant has been lost. However, isn't this only the case when such factors in our lives have been successful, or when we come from a certain privilege that allows these facets to be successful? While Pereboom strongly asserts that the realization that success depends very much on one's upbringing, opportunities in one's society, the assistance of colleagues, and good fortune frequently give rise to a sense of thankfulness and almost never at all to dismay, this is only the case for people who already have these luxuries to be grateful for. How can someone who comes from a neglected background and has little access to good networks and opportunities be optimistic about their fate, as, according to Pereboom, they are almost doomed for failure? How can someone be grateful for an abandoned or abused upbringing, much less be hopeful about future prospects if they are to believe that their path, character ahead in life is inevitably shaped almost unchangeably by it, their poor background? Yeah, so two possibilities. One is that it's not the case that a poor background always dooms somebody's life forever. It's rare to think that you sort of have no options, like you're stuck absolutely forever. And so Pereboom would presumably say, look, that would be something to be hopeful for. You would be hopeful for the idea that you can escape your poor background and things like this, that you can maybe either get lucky or through hard work or something like this overcome it. And the thought is that it's not like you'd be responsible for overcoming it through hard work or for getting lucky or something, but it would be good if you did. And so you can hope that that's the case. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is if it's literally impossible for your life to go well at this point. I think the thought is that you're supposed to sort of accept this and understand it, because if it's the case that you can't break free, if it's really the case that you're determined to end up in a bad path, that's the truth of the matter. So anything else would be deceiving oneself. So, I mean, it might be bad, it would be unfortunate that this happened. Of course, bad things are always bad when they happen, but I don't think there's a way around that for Pereboom. I think the thought is that, look, if bad things have happened and they've sort of set you on a path on which you're stuck, and bad things are necessarily going to happen, you don't want to be delusional about it. That would just be lying to oneself or misunderstanding the way that the universe works. So again, it's rare that there's no hope for somebody, so there are always possibilities that things will go well. Pereboom's point more generally is just that if you're worried that this lack of free will is going to take things away from us, the thought is, no, it's not going to take anything away. Why? Because, well, all the good stuff, having a good moral character or whatever, that actually didn't depend on free will in the first place. Everybody sort of admits that a lot of it just comes down to luck. And then, so that's the point he's trying to make. You might have a question sort of similar to this or building on this, which is that, oh, a lack of free will is going to take away one thing, which is that I sort of have this special power to escape my bad circumstances. So if I've been in bad circumstances, I don't have to be bound by those circumstances. I'm not stuck in them, and I can break free. And then again, Pereboom, I think his response is twofold. Number one, if that's true, if you're determined to break free, then that's great. You should be happy about that. And so there's nothing wrong with that. People break free all the time, and that's fine. If you're not determined to break free, then you don't have a special magic power. He thinks, no, we're all determined. There is no power to sort of change the laws of physics or anything. So you shouldn't hope for that kind of thing. If that's what you're hoping for, there's just no chance there. So maybe the worry is that if we don't have this kind of power, we're going to feel very sort of downcast and downtrodden, like there's nothing we can do to sort of escape our circumstances. But I mean, again, the thought is that no, it's usually possible to escape circumstances. Maybe, I mean, it depends on your life. But yeah, so those I think are the only two answers Pereboom can really give. Whether or not they're sufficient, it's up to you. I think for him, a lot of the work is just done by maybe it would be better if we could give other answers, But determinism is true. So whatever's going to happen is set in stone, and this is nothing like. Maybe it would be nice if we had some power of free will or something, but we don't. So we have to sort of look at what we have and live with what we have.